Hello everybody, this is Rob with Yoro Adventures. Thanks for watching this video today. I wanted to get two things out in the open. Number one, this is not a paid, advertised, or sponsored product review. This is a video where I'm going to cover a specific laptop that I purchased, go through the performance and real-time Adobe usage, and I'm going to go through a little bit of research that I put in to help me with this decision on the purchase of the laptop that I chose. Number two, I work for one of the large tech companies that's mentioned in this video. I'm an account executive that represents many lines of business within the organization. So, with that being said, I just wanted to share a little bit on the research that I made and what I found and some real life practical use on the laptop. Hope you enjoy the video. So, have you ever tried looking for a laptop that you can do video editing on but not spend $4,000? Well, let me show you what I got, and maybe that will help you out. So when looking for a laptop, there's plenty of resources out there. I started off by going into YouTube and just typing in video editing laptop 2020, and there's tons of videos about various laptops in there for you to look at, and it's all great information, but what I found was there was a trend. So as I was going through, I was finding videos, for instance, from Potato Jet, who was doing a review of the Razer Blade 15 Studio Edition. It has a NVIDIA Quadro RTX 5000 GPU. But keep in mind, I had a budget. What I found was interesting is all these people were reviewing laptops that were outside of my budget. So my goal was to spend as close to $1,000 for a video editing laptop as I could, still get almost all the features, may not be as robust as some of the ones that are being reviewed, but just to show you kind of what I found, maybe this will help you out. So like I said, we have Potato Jet. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. Very much recommend him. He's really big into reviewing cameras, but his typical camera cost is in the $20,000+. And, you know, kind of follows suit that he has a laptop that's called the Razer Blade 15 Studio Edition that he's reviewing. And the price on this laptop is $4,299. If you look at some of the other channels like Unbox Therapy, he recommended a MacBook Pro 13. And once again, the price on the one that he recommended was $1,899. And just to take it one more step further, we have Linus Tech Tips, which is by far one of the largest YouTube channels out there right now for technology. He did a review and highly recommended this Asus ZenBook Pro Duo. But once again, when you look at the price, the entry point is $2,295. So, you know, I was just struggling because as I was looking through these videos, I could not seem to find very many videos talking about laptops that were within my budget and available locally at the local stores. So here was the criteria in which I made my purchase. I wanted a laptop that was current gen, so that meant I had a processor that was an Intel of the 10th gen or a Ryzen processor. I wanted the memory to be upgradable and the speed to be right around 3200. I wanted a minimum of a 512 gigabyte SSD memory, so that way I can upload my videos, work on them, and then unload them into my hard drives. I wanted a minimum of a 1080p screen with a 140 plus hertz refresh rating, which allows the 4K to kind of run a little bit smoother as you're watching it. And essentially I wanted something that was somewhat portable, so I was looking at the 15-inch or smaller. So what I ended up, when I was going through this, I ended up looking for options, and all the ones that had like this one here, $1,200 best video laptop, editing laptop in 2020. I found that a lot of these laptops I couldn't find just going down to Best Buy. As a matter of fact, I had to either go directly to the manufacturer's website and try to configure them, which right now, as of today, Ryzen is a little bit hard to find on the manufacturer websites to configure, just because of the demand. Or I was finding some off-brand items, and when I say off-brand, I see the big manufacturers as HP, Dell, Lenovo, etc. So in some of these, we have other laptops like the LG Gram, which LG makes a decent laptop, but they're not known for making laptops. They're known to make cell phones and TVs. The other ones that I were finding were more ultra portable, like the Microsoft Surface Pro. And if you're an Apple person, you know, you have your Apple choices, but you pay a premium for those. And those are very hard to upgrade because you're stuck in the Apple sandbox. So what I ended up coming across was the HP Omen 15. Now, the reason why I picked this is it's a gaming laptop. It had the ability to go with the Ryzen 7, which is the 2.9 gigahertz to 4.3 overclock, 8-core processor, and still get a 1660 Ti graphics card integrated, or I'm sorry, discrete graphics card into the build. And everything was upgradable. So if you look at the Legion, so let's take a look at the Legion 5, which is a comparable model. It's a great laptop. However, what I was finding as I was going through the ones that you can find at Best Buy, for instance, if you were a person that wanted to go look at them, that the max RAM in a lot of these laptops was 16 gigs. And I really wanted something that I could upgrade to 32 or 64 as I owned the laptop, so that way it didn't become outdated so quickly. So I looked at 4 different brands when I was at Best Buy, and almost every Best Buy carries pretty close to the same models. Do your homework and see what the maximum RAM configurability is. And the easiest way to do that is you can go to a website, so Crucial, which is Crucial Memory. And as you're shopping around, put in the computer that you're interested in, and they have all the different manufacturers, the model, and it will tell you what the max RAM capability is of that notebook. So, like I said, I ended up with the HP Omen 15 because it checked off all those boxes. So it gave me my Ryzen 7, which is a cheaper processor than the Intel. It actually has a higher performance rating. So if you look here, I compare the AMD Ryzen 7 4800H, which is my processor, versus the Intel Core i7 9750H, which is the comparable processor. The AMD has 8 cores, 16 threads. The Intel has 6 cores, 12 threads. The cache is 8 megabytes, which is lower than the Intel, which is 12 megabytes. But what I did like is that the memory that it supported was DDR4-3200 MHz versus the Intel, which was DDR4 2666. So this means that I future-proofed my laptop a little bit longer, just mainly because the Ryzen is a newer chipset. So if you know, to kind of do proof is in the pudding, I'm not expecting blazing fast Premiere performance like you would see on a major workstation build. I was looking for a laptop that I can take with me that was light, easy to carry, very functional, and did the job. So let's pull up Adobe Premiere real quick. So I clicked on Adobe Premiere, and just to do a quick couple steps back, this laptop I bought came with 16 gigs of RAM, the Ryzen 7 4800H, and the 1660 Ti graphics card from NVIDIA. I went ahead and upgraded it to 32 gigs, but it does perform pretty good. It just takes a second to load, but the last video I did was the walking uphill video, and let's go ahead and open it up so you can see how it performs. So it always takes a moment for it to gather all the files. This was a file that had a lot of adjustments to it, but it's pretty quick to load. Okay, so we got it all loaded up. Some of the key things that you want to look for in performance of a laptop is how well does it import video? Do you lose any frames by doing scrolling? And I have no drop frame alert. I am editing right now 4K video pretty much across the board, but the performance does work really well. And just to show you one additional item, I'm going to pull up the Omen Command Center, and the Omen Command Center is kind of like the control hub if you have games, various things that you're doing. If you're playing online, it works really well. But the one thing I want to show you is the device itself. So I'm going to click on Omen, and it just takes a second for it to gather the information. So I'm using 16 gigs of RAM right now, 14% of my CPU, and GPU about 3%. And that's the NVIDIA 1660 Ti. It also gives me a dashboard on my download speed and upload speed if that's necessary. But this is one of the features that's really nice within this laptop that's built in. It also has a performance control, so I can change the performance level. So I can go to performance enabled, and it's going to be suitable for gaming. But the nice thing is it will kind of adjust all the preferences to performance. Now, another feature that's part of this laptop is you can change the RGB on the keyboard. So this is all customizable. I can, make them different colors, or I can just turn it off altogether. But back to Premiere. Now that I showed you kind of the system vitals, what it looks like, let's see if I can do a couple things and you can see what it does. So here's the video. This is a video I posted the other day, and you can see all the adjustment layers, all the video clips, the music that's in here, the graphics. I have some effects in there, and it's doing really well. It does wind up on the air just because right now I have it playing at full 4K, but if I moved it down to 1080, it would run a little cooler. And then once you're done, you can easily export the media, and you can then do your export and render it. So if I were to just, for instance, do a YouTube 1080p preset, it's about 639 megabytes. Now the videos that I upload are in the 4K settings, but let's just do 1080, and you can see how fast it actually will run. So it's just compiling all the audio previews, and then now it will go ahead and render the video. And right now it's showing approximately, it's climbing a little bit, but it's going to be about 8 minutes for the entire video. Now let's check the dashboard real quick. So my GPU is running at 95%. My CPU is running right in the 70s, and my memory utilization is right around 62%. So I'm using almost 20 gigs of my 32 gigs. And It is running a little hot, so the CPU is right around 200 degrees and the GPU is at about 157, and that's why you can hear the fan in the background cranking up a little bit. Took me approximately 5 minutes to do, and here's the video. So as you can see, it works just as advertised. Now, if you're going to spend an extra $1,000, obviously you're going to get better performance. But for something that was, you know, in my budget, in my target range, it gave me everything that I was looking for. And so, you know, in my book, I got exactly what I needed, and I'm very, very happy with the purchase. If you're interested in buying this exact laptop, I'll put a link in the description, and I actually am going to include links to all the other laptops that I looked at, because who knows, if you have a $4,000 budget, I can honestly tell you that this laptop here is a great option, as well as all of these other ones. And to be as transparent as possible, this was the laptop I was originally going for, but I just you know, $2,200 is still a lot of money when I'm, you know, funding this on my own. But you know, I kind of wanted to share the laptop that I picked out, why I picked it, and hopefully helped you with you figuring out your purchase. At the end of the day, these are tools, and the more you invest in a tool, the better it performs. So within my budget, this is what I was able to get, and hopefully it answers some questions. If there's any questions that do pop up, please feel free to leave a comment in the video and I will try to answer them. But thank you for watching, and hope to see you out on the trails.